Yeah, I know. Another video about the Cleveland Browns. How many more am I going to do this off season? Well, we'll see. But I enjoy doing them. And deep down, you like when I talk about the skid marks of the National Football League, too. You do. And at some point in time, they will no longer be the skid marks of the National Football League. At which point in time will personally kind of be a sad day for me. So, I got to cash in when I can. Now, when it comes to the Tyrod Taylor deal, obviously, not a big fan of it. I think it's ridiculous to give up third-round picks for a bridge quarterback and pay the cap number that the Bills had assigned to Tyrod Taylor, but that is me. We can, on that one, agree to disagree. This is not quite as bad as, let's say, paying Sam Bradford $15 million guaranteed in 2018 to come suck for your team. There is no agree to disagree. You either agree that he sucks and that's a stupid move, or you're a moron. See the difference? But I thought it was really interesting when Hugh Jackson said this week, when they were introducing Tyrod Taylor and going through the motions of the press conference, when asked about the quarterback position in 2018, Hugh Jackson said, and I quote about Tyrod Taylor, "He's going to be the starting quarterback. There is no competition," unquote. Now I understand for Hugh Jackson that perhaps the Deshaun Kaiser experiment and experience in 2017 really scarred him, probably permanently scarred him for life, and scared him from starting another young quarterback. Now keep in mind, though, that Deshaun Kaiser was a late second-round pick, not an early first-round pick for a reason. And even his college head coach, Brian Kelly, indicated that Kaiser wasn't ready for the NFL. I know when I graded him as a mid-second-round pick, with the understanding being that he wasn't quite ready for the NFL. And when you throw any young quarterback into that horrible situation with that horrible supporting cast, how much of a difference was it going to make? Or you put a veteran quarterback in that situation, how much of a difference was that going to make? And I know Hugh Jackson is looking at this. With a new general manager in John Dorsey, who didn't hire him, Hugh Jackson has to overcome overwhelming odds to still be the team's head coach in 2019. While the owner, Jimmy Aslan, that crook, gave him a free pass in 2018 for whatever ridiculous reasons, I don't know, because he saw so much that he loved after 1-31 in 2 years, he's not going to get that same pass again. They went through all that to get John Dorsey. They're giving John Dorsey a year. Hugh Jackson's got one more year. So I understand he feels like he's coaching for his job in 2018, and coaching and playing another rookie quarterback throughout the whole season might not be the best for his future job security. I get that. And I understand it, because he is coaching for his job, and in theory, coaching up a young quarterback may not be the best for his job security. On the flip side of that, though, when you talk about playing somebody like a Tyrod Taylor, do you think playing a Tyrod Taylor, showing your desperation to win now and going 7-9 or 8 with him, is going to save your damn job either? I don't know about you, but I would rather show my coaching chops by winning 4 to 6 games with a rookie quarterback that my team drafted high in round 1, that I've shown that I can coach up and develop and has the potential to be the franchise guy. To me, long-term, for job security and the health of the Cleveland Browns organization, that is much more important than winning 7 or 8 games with goddamn Tyrod Taylor. And what I think is even more ridiculous about this, and this is not a condemnation on Tyrod Taylor, this is just an overall philosophy thing. You just finished 0-16, and you're already closing the book on having any competition at the most important spot on your roster? Your team went 0-16. Nobody should be guaranteed shit in that situation. Nobody should walk in and have anything handed to them at all, no matter who the hell it is. Every single person on that roster, every single player on that roster should have to earn their spot on the team, earn their spot in the lineup. That goes up to and including the quarterback. I don't give a damn if you did give up a third-round pick to get a bridge guy. It doesn't matter. How stupid and how ridiculous. And also looking at it, regardless of your opinion on Tyrod Taylor, nobody's going to sit there and call him elite or a true blue franchise guy. He is not so awesome, and nor is your investment in terms of overall salary and contract so great that you can't have somebody potentially beat him out. Listen, if Tyrod is that good and good enough, then he would win the job any damn ways. Why would you go into a season after finishing 1-15 in 2016, 0-16 in 2017, acquiring a quarterback that the Bills, who made the playoffs unlike you in 2017 with that guy, couldn't wait to freaking get rid of him? You're just going to hand him the keys and say, that's it. That's ridiculous. That is insane. If Hugh Jackson had said right now, Tyrod Taylor is our starting quarterback, even if we bring in somebody else, we are going to have competition at the position, but Tyrod has a leg up. We anticipate Tyrod being the starter. That is fine. You are leaving yourself a potential out. You are leaving the door cracked open. You're giving yourself flexibility and options, which to me as a head coach in that situation, why the hell wouldn't you? Are you that worried about Tyrod Taylor's confidence? Are you fearful that he's that insecure that if there's any hint of a competition with a young quarterback at all, that he might fold like a house of cards? What the hell? And I know the narrative that's going to come out there, and it comes out there every year. And more as time goes along, it is a ridiculous narrative. And that is, when you take a young quarterback, and even when you take a young quarterback high, the best thing you can do is sit them. Let them watch and learn and develop. That's the best way for them to grow. And people throw out there the old Carson Palmer reason. Even though I was 15 damn years ago. And how much better really was Carson Palmer for sitting one season behind Jon Kitna? Do you have anything that proves that whatsoever? And even when somebody brings up, let's say, a Jimmy Garoppolo. Garoppolo has shown some nice flashes. And has made a total of, 7 NFL starts in 4 years? So even then, the jury is still out and the guy is in his mid-20s. Jury's still out. We do have a preponderance of evidence that if the guy is good enough and the guy is right, the best thing you could do is play him right away. Look at 2017. Deshaun Watson, after Bill O'Brien foolishly started Tom Savage in week 1, he realized how bad Savage sucked and that he might as well just go with Deshaun Watson anyways. And Deshaun Watson, the time that he played, showed some flashes, gave some hope for that organization for the future, for long term, to say he could be that dude. Would Deshaun Watson have been better off sitting most of the season learning behind Tom Savage? No, you're insane. May have saved him from tearing his ACL. Maybe it wouldn't have because it happened to practice any damn ways. Is Trubisky for Chicago really that much better off because he sat 4 games behind Giraffe Neck Glennon? What the fuck did he learn sitting those 4 games? Give me a break. If Mahomes makes it in Kansas City, he makes it because of his talent, not because he sat a year behind Alex Smith. That's just stupid. And those that are going to say, well, DeShone Kizer was a washout in his 1 year in Cleveland. Who the fuck, young quarterback or veteran, was going to be that successful in that situation any damn ways? Horrible example. But you go back to 2016. Jared Goff didn't play half his rookie year. He was in a bad situation with a dumb dick head coach and a horrible offensive coaching staff. Did he really learn anything from them? Getting on the bench half the damn year? No, and when he came in, he was terrible. Why? Because his coaches were terrible, and the offensive talent around him was terrible. If his offensive coach was Sean McVay, his head coach was Sean McVay, and you had better talent around him when he was drafted in 2016, Goff would have hit the ground running, like he did in 2017 when he had those things in place. Carson Wentz played immediately. Yes, he had some struggles. Yes, he had some good games. And look at him. Even before the knee injury, he was an MVP type of candidate. He was worth the pick. He proved it. He played. And that was at a time where they already had Sam Bradford and Chase Daniel signed all this money. There's no way Carson Wentz is going to play. If he's good enough, you play the dude because long term it is the best thing for your organization. For any of these NFL knuckleheads to sit there and say the best thing a guy could do to learn is to sit on the sidelines and watch and hold a clipboard, they are freaking morons. There is no way in the world you could equate this to the real world and say that the best thing for you to be able to learn your job is to go through months of training classes. At some point in time, ding dong, dumb dicks, you have to sit there and actually go out there and do the damn thing. Hands-on experience is everything. And time after time after time, it is proven that hands-on experience is the best way to learn and the quickest way to find out whether somebody's got the goods or not. Dak Prescott started right away in 2016 for the Dallas Cowboys. They went 13-3. Would he have really been better off or any different if he had to sit a whole entire year behind Tony Romo? Probably not. 2015, Jameis Winston, Marcus Mariota, they started day one as the fuck they should have. Would they have been any better off sitting behind a veteran for a year? No! 2014, Blake Bortles didn't start every game because Chad Henne did, but then they quickly realized Chad Henne sucks, and if Blake Bortles sucks, at least he's the guy you took third overall and you massively reached for. If you still say, well, the jury's still out on Blake Bortles, maybe he should have sat more, or maybe it's just the fact that David Caldwell should have never drafted his ass third overall to begin with. Maybe it's more of an example he's just not good enough. Derek Carr was taken in round 2, and he started right away and started every game. And even though the Raiders started off 0-10, they went 3-3 in their last 6 games, and he's their franchise dude now. He made the job appealing enough for John Gruden to come out of the damn cushy gig that he had in the TV booth for Monday Night Football. How ridiculous for a Hugh Jackson to say it so firmly and so confidently that there is no competition. Because number one, that's ridiculous when your team went 0-16. Every position should have competition, up to and including and especially the quarterback. And number two, if you're being scarred by one bad experience with a young rookie quarterback, maybe in part that's because you also handled him poorly, handled the situation poorly, but maybe it's more so a reflection Kizer wasn't that dude, and he wasn't ready for that spot yet. And frankly, who else was going to succeed in that situation? But if you draft a guy, number 1 or number 4 overall, if it's Sam Darnold, it's Rosen, it's Mayfield, it's Allen, it's Lamar Jackson, it's whoever the hell. If you draft him that high, you better be drafting him because you think he could be the franchise guy. You think he could be that dude that could someday help you hoist a Lombardi trophy for the city of Cleveland. And if he is that dude, the dumbest thing you could do is sit him. Because all you were doing is kicking the can down the road for the inevitable growing pains the dude's going to have anyways. How stupid to bring in a young quarterback like that and tell him there is no chance of winning this starting job. You're basically embedding in him that it doesn't matter how hard you work, it doesn't matter how good you are, it doesn't matter how much you might merit it, because you're the rookie and this dude's the veteran and we gave up a fucking 3rd round pick for him, even though we invested in a top 5 pick in you. There is no way in hell you were seeing the field by design in the early stages of the 2018 season. That is stupid. That is stupid, stupid, stupid. And Hugh Jackson is stupid for saying stupid shit like this. Because again, the recent preponderance of evidence in the NFL indicates if you draft that quarterback high and he is that right guy, you play him right away. Because the quicker you do, the quicker you have the chance of him developing and becoming that franchise guy. Which is the only thing that really matters about 2018 for the Cleveland Browns. It does not matter if they win 1 game. It does not matter if they win 10. The only thing that matters is if they find and draft and develop that young franchise quarterback. Winning 7 or 8 games or sneaking into the wild card with Tyrod Taylor is not what this fucking season is about. It is about the future and setting yourself up to contend for the next 5, 8, 10 damn years with a young franchise quarterback that you could build around. There's no competition, my ass. There will be plenty of competition, though, when dumbass Hugh Jackson gets fired after 2018 because of dumb crap like this.